We have, what do we have? We have 88%. 96.3%. I mean, 96.3% is good, but I was expecting like a 99% game. Like I was expecting like a really hardcore, like perfect game. Okay, resourceful defense. Well, Hikaru's attacking skills have been on display thus far. It is perhaps his defensive skills that really separate him from the rest of the elite online field. Hikaru constantly finds tenacious defenses with seconds on his clock. Getting a winning position against Hikaru is hard, but actually winning a winning position is multiple times harder. No defensive resource makes quite the same impression as turning a dead loss into a stalemate, like Hikaru does here against the Big Neb Pack Laza. One thing, I don't mean to critique the author of this little bit, but I'm pretty sure that this game was a hand and brain game played between myself and I played this game with Patek Warrietics, and this was against Benolius and Anna Kramling. This was part of that team event, so this was not me against Benolius solely, which is why I remember the game, right? Chat can tell me, but wasn't this part of the whole like Polish tournament they had where I was playing with Patek Warriecki and Benolius was playing with Anna Kramling, right? He couldn't know. Okay, but anyway, yeah, that's actually why this happened, because of course I saw the end position. I'm like, I mean, I would never get a losing position against Benolius. I mean, let's be serious. Like I refuse to get a losing position against him. I mean, he's only 2760. Like let's be serious. Okay, so anyway, I'm sure somebody's gonna clip that and send that to him now. But yeah, so this was actually a fun game because we had the black pieces and it was pretty standard. We're a little bit worse. Anna was playing quite well, and Patek, I think he made some mistakes somewhere in this middle game, and so let's just keep going. So we end up much worse. We're worse. And at some point, yeah, like Anna was playing so well, and so was Benolius. And you're on one today. I'm on what? Rather uninstall chess and lose to 2700. Exactly. So Anna was playing great, and we're just completely busted here. I mean, I was ready to resign, but somehow we were able to trick them. How do we trick them? Like here, it's impossible for white to not win this game, but somehow, how do we trick them? Like, I don't even remember, how do we win the e-pawn? That was the thing I wasn't sure of. Oh, because g4 they went king h2. Why did they go king h2? That's very weird. Takes g5, and that's right, Anna pushed the pawn, and they basically got the rook. They got this rook and pawn stuck on f7 e7 where you couldn't push it, and so eventually they give up the pawn, because I just keep saying rook every single move and white can't do anything. I just keep saying rook, so finally they have to give up the pawn on e7, and it's still losing, of course, but yeah, somehow this is really disgusting. King f4, and then I go king h4, and now they've stalemated me, and I say rook, and this is so disgusting here how I was able to trick them and run the king to h4, and then here, no matter how you take the rook, it's a stalemate. It's very, very dirty. And I think the problem is also, I think it's because they're playing alternating moves or something. I think I was able to say rook, and it's too obvious what it is. It's crazy. Defense comes in other forms too. Sometimes returning material is the best way to hold on to the chances in a position. This one comes from Hikaru's speed run to a 3000 rating on his tricks account. All right, so let's start. So d4, e5 is played here, e4 is played, and now I take. This was I don't actually remember this game right off. Let's keep going. The bishop c5 castles, d6 h3 is played here, knight f6, a4 a5, knight a3 castles, bishop g5 h6, bishop h4 g5, all pretty standard here, by the way. Nothing too crazy, just a normal kind of position, although the sacrifice is actually probably quite good for white here. So king g7, knight c4, knight e5 takes, king h1, rook h8. Now I have a sack on h3 here, bishop h3 takes, king g2, rook takes d3, and now it's basically going to be losing, I think, simply because I'm up material here. Although rook f5, I sack. This is actually interesting. So I must have flagged my opponent in this game to win. The b6, king c6, king e4. No, I actually was losing this game. Somehow I tricked him and won, but this guy played really well. Yeah, this. Oh, he blunders rook f3, rook takes f6, and that's game over. So knight f3 d5 is played here. E3 knight f6. Yeah, this was off stream. Do I play better off stream? No, I don't actually. But or wait, no, it says 1-0. Wait, maybe I'm wrong, because the game I was thinking of was 3-0, not 1-0. So maybe I'm wrong on the specific game here. We have f3, bishop g6, queen b3. Okay, I'll just run through it pretty quickly. Standard line. Thank you to Derek Gaddis for the 5 gifted. Thanks so much to Derek Gaddis, appreciate it. Playing off stream, I don't play much off stream because I actually find that I play a lot worse. Rook c1, rook c8. Okay, all normal, 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 normal. Yeah, and he gets some kind of funky a3, and this should be bad for me because yeah, he's getting the b file, right? Yeah, he's getting the b file with the double stack. Now somehow here, yeah, rook b7 is actually a huge blunder. I think in this position Min Lei was supposed to just move his queen and he's close to winning, but this hangs rook c. Oh wait, no, there's still queen d. Oh wait, no, queen d1 doesn't work. Wait, I have to analyze this just for you guys. So yeah, this position, I think if he just, again, my memory is really good. For all the people who are busy saying bad things, I'm just going to give them more reason to hate me. So after queen a5, this is just very bad because now I think rook c3, there's knight e5, and now there's a double attack on the rook, and it's completely winning for black. And the idea of just the double stack is way too strong here. So queen a5 is just winning, but Min Lei plays rook b7, like very logical move. But now I have takes. And the problem here is that if queen d1, oh wait, no, rook c8, there's still knight f8. Wow, so black is still winning here after rook c8, knight f8, because if you play rook c8, there's queen d1 and there's no checkmate, but he can still play knight f8. I mean, I guess I have rook d2 and the show goes on, but very, very sharp, very, very sharp being. But instead, Min Lei blunders. He takes, and now I go boom. And this boom shakalaka, if you play king f8, I just take the queen. Queen guards b1, and when you take, I throw in the check on the king, and now the bishop guards b1 as well. So that's all she wrote. Rook takes e1, and the bishop covers b1. Yeah, and now I have 2 bishops for the rook, and it's just very cleanly winning. This was a very this game I'm pretty sure was played off stream. h3 will make you pay. This is a unique one, but when you have white against Hikaru, you need to watch out for the h3 square. He'll make you pay if you don't. We already saw one example in his queen sack against Danny. Here are more recent examples. Neither checks nor captures, but they lead to win. h3. I wonder what this is. I have no idea what this is. This h3 is kind of bizarre, I have to say. So yeah, that's kind of weird. That's really quite weird, I have to say. h3, what does that mean? What does h3 mean here? Let's see. Oh, it's a game against Benji. Let's see, can I remember? First, Hikaru pays an homage to GM Nigel Short with a king walk against GM Benjamin Bach. Okay, now I'm trying to think. A king walk against Benjamin. Do I walk my king to h3 as black here somehow? Huh. I don't remember this game right off. No, I don't. So it's d4 e6. Let's flip the board. Knight f3 b6 here. g3 bishop b7, bishop g2, knight f6, c4 d5. We trade. All very standard, very standard. And this is a very recent game too. I don't remember this game right off. It doesn't really ring a bell. But let's keep going. 95, queen e7. Oh wait, no, sorry, September 2020. Oh, never mind. I thought it was September 21. It's 2020. Yeah, this is pretty old. It takes. That's back when we actually thought the world might be normal. We thought the world might be normal. I remember like September 2020. I mean, I kind of thought I was coming out to LA for a few months, and I assumed the world's gonna get back to normal. Everything's gonna come back, and it's like, no. Definitely not. So it is what it is. All right, let's keep going. a4, b takes a4, rook takes a4, queen b5 takes, bishop h3, and oh, because he's got light square weaknesses, so I'm able to start running the king up to h5, g4, h3. Yeah, this is actually a very beautiful game. Goes here. I just keep coming in, king h3. Yeah, because now he's getting lollied on g2 if he takes the rook. Queen a2 allows queen f3, queen g2, and that's just checkmate. f3, and now check, and I tickle him, and then I go queen g6, tickle, and then I go queen f6, tickle, and then I take on f3, rook f3, queen f3, and he just resigns. So all right, let's keep moving on. Next game we have, then he mirrors GM Alexei Shirov with bishop h3 exclam, but here Hikaru is an entirely different point in the game against Saleh. This game I don't really remember very clearly. I mean, now that I see the position, I do recall it very vaguely, but it's not a game. This was on stream though. This was definitely on stream. So very normal stuff here. B5, knight d7. Everybody's seen me play the setup. All very normal. Okay, I take the rook b8, and yeah, this was just a clean win. I remember this game pretty well now that I'm seeing it. But again, everything is kind of the perspective is definitely off, because it feels like this was this feels like it was not this really feels like it was not played that many months ago. I mean, I really feel like this was a game that was played. I want to say I really want to say that this game feels like it was played like 3 months ago, not like 7 months ago. It's insane. Who is Salem Slate? He is the strongest player from the United Arab Emirates. I believe he lives in I think he lives in Dubai, if I'm not mistaken, or Sharjah. So he's the strongest player from the Emirates. Yeah, now I go here, and that bishop h3, beautiful tactic here. So our king h3 was queen f5. If he takes, I made him on h1 and g1, and he just resigns. I think, does he resign or no? He plays f3. Now I go queen f5, check, and now rook a2. Beautiful technique. Takes, and now I think I just check, and I can just check and take the bishop on e5. Very simple win. What else do we have? We have the positional exchange sack. We doubt Hikaru took more than a few seconds to decide on these positional exchange sacrifices. Little calculation is needed, but it's still lovely to see such domination on display. This one is particularly striking aesthetically, with the rook standing proudly amidst 4 of black's pieces in the immediate vicinity, attacking the key d6 squares. It's got to be rook d6, right? Has to be rook d6. Yeah, this is just a nice move. Rook d6 here. Queen c8. Now I just fling everything on the king side, open it up. Rook h1, right? Rook h1 and queen h3 or queen h4 at some point. Takes. Now I'm basically able to go queen h4, and the bishop covers f8 here, and it's a very simple checkmate. All right, another good game. What else do we have? We have positional sacrifices usually take time to bear fruit, but this one ended the game in just 18 moves against GM Zansaron Sitipov. All right, here we go. We have e4 c5. This is where I got e6. This was recent, right? This was very recent. This must be November. It's August. I'm really confused. Either my memory's going, or else like everything is just blurring together too much. This feels like November. This really does. I mean, this really was August. Wow. Yeah, everything just blurs together in a hurry. I was in a coma for 10 weeks in the fall, remember? Yeah, I mean, I was thinking anybody who was like in a coma for the last few years, say someone was asleep for the last years and woke up, they'd be very confused by the world we live in today. None of it would make any sense whatsoever. Games. Of course, playing a brilliant move is great, but playing a brilliant game is even better. Here are 2 of Hikaru's most accurate and pretty blitz games, each featuring multiple brilliant moves and worthy of inclusion in any best games collection. So as you guys see, so the 2 books that I have to write are my 5,000 brilliant moves on chess.com and my 5,000 most memorable games. Those are the 2 books that I have to write down the road, and then I start the series of 5,000. So it's the perfect thing to do. Yeah. All right. Hikaru has won 12 title Tuesdays in 2021 alone, including achieving an unprecedented +11 -0 = 0 perfect score on August 17th. But his victory on May 4th, and by the way, you guys, that's how I know time is flying, because I feel like that +11 was like, that feels like 2 months ago. That was August. That's just insane. That is just insane. My 11-0 was in August. That's just crazy. That's insane. It feels like it was 2 months ago. I feel like it was like 8 to 10 title Tuesdays ago. That's just nuts. Yeah, that's just insane. Time is just going by way too quickly. But his victory on May 4th wouldn't have happened without this persistent effort against GM Vladimir Dobrov. At the game's climax, there are not 1 but 2 queen sacks. At first, the queen is untouchable due to mate. 2 moves later is sacrificed again, this time forcing mate. This was the very cloggy, like, I don't know if it was a Dutch opening, but this was a cloggy one where I think he sacked a queen and then I sacked a queen, and he had like a rook and a knight. Maybe it was like he was trying to create an Arabian mate, I think, if I'm not mistaken. I could have it slightly wrong. But there's some kind of mate around the back. Okay, let's see, am I right or wrong? B3 C5, this one we'll do in the analysis because it is the most they said it's one of my most accurate games that I've ever played. So let's see. So B3 C5 is played, bishop B2 D6 E3, knight F6, knight F3, E5. Okay, all very normal. Normal. Okay. And we get to this position and it's very tough to win. Go back, play here, knight B4. Right, and now the first thing is, I think if I go rook C2, there's knight C6, right? Yeah, knight C6 is just winning because it's a fossil and there's a checkmate. So like if I take the queen, he takes with check, and then this position after bishop A3 is just winning for white. He's up a pawn, he'll be up 2 pawns. I think during the game I missed this, if I recall correctly. I missed it. Initially I think I wanted to play here, and he has knight C6. So initially I missed this, so that I move the queen, I keep the pin alive, and also I keep this alive. There are no fossils because the queen can't be touched by the knight here. Knight moves in an L shape, as we know. So he goes D4, he closes the diagonal. Right now I think I double stack, right? I double stack, he goes here, I take it. Now he goes rook D6, and is this where I play queen C4, which I think allows like yeah, I was wrong about it being an Arabian mate, but it still is like an E6 rook D8, some kind of checkmate in the corner. This is a very, very sharp game. Yeah, so I play queen C4, which is actually a blunder, because if white takes the queen, I go check, and then I go check here, and there might be a mate, but I think, okay, this is probably this is a beautiful mate. Check here, and now I go, wait, no, is this right? No, it's wrong. You go check here, and then it's mate. Queen D3, rook D3. This is how you make the checkmate. So it's very, very beautiful. So white can't take the queen. But the funny thing is, in retrospect, queen C8, which is a lot less flashy, with the idea of I think queen 8 or queen B7, is actually just winning on the spot here. But the thing is, after queen C8, I didn't see the forced mate, so I thought he goes like E6 takes and rook D1, and now he's getting in with rook D8. He's gonna hit the king, hit the queen, and I assumed I'm losing, but of course computer doesn't care and just says king F7, and black is just winning on the spot because of course computers are too good. But that's what I saw. So instead I played the flashy one, but now the thing is, he has some draw here with, yeah, he's got rook D8, king H7, and now he can sack his rook and cut the diagonal. Sorry, he cuts the diagonal to E6 here, and now when I move the king and he takes the queen, the diagonal's closed. I have no bishop C4, so I can check, but he goes H1, check here, check king F1. There's no way to make a checkmate because he closes the diagonal with the rook sack in between. So it's a very beautiful it's a very beautiful beautiful concept with rook H8. But the thing is, he doesn't see rook H8. He goes, what does he play? He plays, yeah, he goes here, and now I go king F8. Now there's no way to close the diagonal, and now I just threaten the sack of the queen. And so he goes here, and boom goes to dynamite with queen F1, rook F1, check, and now it's a forced checkmate here. King has nowhere to run to. So it's like rook D8 and rook H8 is a brilliant counter sack, and I mean, it's in a way, like, I guess it helped me win Title Tuesday, so I'm happy. But it's pretty nuts. It's nuts to see all the tactics that exist in the game of chess. So really, really beautiful concept. I go here, he also can play the check. He has got the check right away. So yeah, it's just a very, very nice line. Check the accuracy. Sure. Game review. Let's see. Let's run the review and let's change this. What do we got? I'll adjust the board. Give me 1 second. What do we have here? What do we have? We have 88%. 96.3%. I mean, 96.3% is good, but I was expecting like a 99% game. Like I was expecting like a really hardcore, like perfect game. I mean, it's good, but I was, since they put this in the article and it made it sound like most accurate, I was like, it's got to be a 99% game, right? But it is what it is. All right, that's how it goes. Okay, let's go back to the article. And keep rolling. Let's see, so we have the game against Dobrov. Okay, what's the next one? We end with perhaps Hikaru's most beautiful overall game from the entire collection, one against GM Hans Niemann. No fewer than 4 of Hikaru's last 5 moves received the engine's double exclam. I don't know which game this is, so let's look at this in analysis, of course. Okay, this was a Catalan though, right? It had to have been a Catalan. D4 D5, C4 C6. Oh no, it wasn't. I played a Slavish. Okay, E6, Queen C2, knight here. He plays G3, takes, b5, bishop b7, knight b7, castle c5, all very standard by the way. But I will note that this order you have to be very careful, because in this position I think it's very similar to a game that I lost against Magnus, actually, where Magnus was able to play an early bishop e3 and knight bd2 in the Tal Memorial in 2013. It's a little bit different here, but very close. Like, the move order has to be perfect, or else you can end up being much worse with black here. So he castles, plays c5. Now of course the diagonal is completely open, so everything is very, very special for white, or for black. Rook d1, rook c8, takes, queen b3, queen b6, guard the pawn, hit the pawn on f2 at the same time. e3, I castle, he plays knight c3, a6 of course, guard the pawn, a3, bishop c6, trying to line up a nice little battery towards the bishop on g2, queen c2, queen b7, queen 2, and now I have knight e5. Now I think it starts to get very dicey. He takes, I take, he goes f3, bishop h3, protect the bishop, knight d3, bishop b6, keep the bishop on the diagonal targeting towards the king, knight f4, bishop f5, king g2, and now I play g5. This is probably the start of good moves. Goes e4. Oh yeah, and now I sack on c3. He takes, and now I sack on e4. Goes here, and now I play f6, which apparently is the best move. So again, not to pago, but f6 is considering this was played on stream, I'm pretty happy that I played f6 here. I have to be honest, because the point is, if I play like knight c3, I think he has like queen e5 and knight f6, and it gets a little bit iffy here on the king side. So f6 is just a great move, and the fact that I played it on stream makes it even better. So he takes, I take, king f1. Oh yes, and bishop d3. Yes. Because now if he takes with the rook, I have queen h1 checkmate. Bishop covers the diagonal, and when he plays queen d3, I go check. He only has one score on e1, and queen f2 is also just a very clean checkmate here, and that's game over. Yeah, this is actually a really, really good game to end with. Let's see what the analysis says. Let's change the scene. What's the analysis? Let's see. Only 95.3. Huh, that's interesting. It's only 95.3. like this, I would have thought this was like a 98% plus. What is not the best move? It's got to be something in the opening. The opening, I must have played it like 2 or 3 moves that it didn't like. But yeah, the number of brilliant moves, 4 brilliant moves. If we click on the analysis, what are the brilliant moves? I think the brilliant moves, let's see. Rook takes c3 is a brilliant move. Knight takes e4 is a brilliant move. f6 is a brilliant move. Bishop d3 is a brilliant move. Yeah, 4 brilliant moves out of the final 5 moves in the game is pretty good. Yeah, but apparently 95 is that's why it's so low, because it gives my moves a mistake. Oh man, it gives it mistake. It says that's a mistake. So it says 95 and it says g5, but g5, wait, no, but I call baloney on this, because g5 is still winning. It's minus 1.7 versus rook fe8 is minus 2.86. Ooh, whoopity doo dah. Yeah, rook fe8 is minus 2.86. Big boo hoo hoo. Total nonsense. I call nonsense on this. You can't see the bottom of the board. True, you can't see the bottom of the board, but it doesn't actually matter. Oh, sorry, actually you need to see the bottom of the board to see the move. Yeah, it's basically saying that it's saying rook fe8 is is like the best move, minus 2.86. like, what a total load of nonsense. g5 is like still winning, minus 1.75, and it calls it a mistake. 95, I'm kind of surprised why it says it's a mistake. It says rook fd8 is the best move. I mean, okay, whatever, dude, whatever. Yeah, I call nonsense on that. But yeah, it's what it is. It is what it is, as we like to say. So yeah, but it's still a very good game. The final 4 out of 5 moves are really, really good, so I definitely have to generally agree with it. Okay, so that's the game against Hans on Twitch. Okay, happy birthday to Hikaru. What was your favorite brilliant move from this article? Let us know in the comments below.